Hello! Ever get stuck on the Leo Ragdoll stage on ToA hard? Well, you can try to cheese your way through using Camules. Or is it Camules? Camules? Camules. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, so I'm just gonna call him Camel. I actually can't beat this stage with my standard team, the team you just saw before I switched it out, so this is the only way I could beat it. To make Camel work, you would need either a Michelle or a Yang. Mav might also work, but I've never tried him. So this is the team I'm going with, which is far from ideal, but it works. Let's just start this and I'll explain everyone's roles as it goes. So the star of the show is Camel, obviously, specifically for his third skill, which gives him a 3-turn Endure and Damage Reflect buff. For Camel to never die, he just needs to move before the enemy, which is why you should bring an attack bar booster like Kona or Bernard. Alternatively, you can try building him with high speed, but I wouldn't recommend that because I would like to build him with as little speed as possible, so he moves as little as possible. You could also just not build him at all, he'll still work. Aside from the first turn, you want him to take as little turns as possible so that his buff stays up longer. With the Endure and Damage Reflect, everyone will be focusing on Camel, but Camel won't die because of the Endure, and the attackers will end up killing themselves because of the Damage Reflect. Now let's do some math. Camel's Dirt has a 7-turn cooldown. The buffs only last for 3 turns. That means Camel will have trouble keeping it up on his own. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Sildenafil, which is why he needs help from the lovely ladies Michelle and or Yang. Personally, I think Yang is much lovelier, so I prefer her help in keeping it up. But I'm a desperate man, so I just take what I can get and settled for Michelle. Michelle does have her benefits. She's easier to skill up and easier to obtain. Basically, she's low maintenance. And she does have a revive, although it's almost useless unless you have a healer go right after her, since her revive is only 25% HP. So pretty high chance that your revive monster would just die again before it gets a turn. But still, it might be useful if you get lucky. In terms of the skill, both do the same thing. Their main attraction is the ability to extend all buffs on your team by 1 turn. Both are on 4-turn cooldown, with skill ups to reduce it down to 3. This means Camel's 3-turn buff will turn into 4, and then 5, and then 6. If your Michelle or Yang is violent and fast enough, they will be able to keep Camel permanently hard to kill, because his Endure buff will be on forever. But my Michelle is 4 stars, level 30, unawakened, and unskilled. I don't think she's worth building outside of this, so I haven't invested much into her. The problem with not having her built is that she dies in one shot by the Raux and by the Fire Garudas, which is why I bring Eladriel. His sole purpose is just to revive Michelle when she dies. He's also wind, so there is a chance that the fire guys attack Eladriel instead of Michelle, so that Michelle doesn't die. Basically, Eladriel's just there to keep Michelle alive, so that Michelle could help Camel keep it up. I guess he's like Camel's wingman? Well, he does have wings. The wings are so small, I don't know if it actually works. I mean, look at his wings to his body size. It doesn't look right. If he flapped those wings, it's not going to do anything, is it? Anyways, you could probably use any reviver. Wait, no. Brienne probably won't work because he balances HP. Well, you could try other revivers, maybe it'll work. But the reviver's only needed if you don't have a Michelle built. It is kind of like a wasted spot. Or you could bring a CC unit like Varad to prevent them from attacking Michelle in the first place, because if they're frozen, they can't attack. Now for Kona. For the 3rd stage, Leo will always move first, so you need a water unit to draw his fire. If Leo attacks Camel before Camel can buff, it's basically GG and you have to start over. Kona also has Resurge, so he could give the turn to someone. So if you have him on Will and he's the fastest on your team, he'll go right after Leo and give the turn to Camel, which will buff, and then you're good to go from there. Also, since my Michelle isn't skilled up, I use Kona's Research to cycle through Michelle's cooldowns faster. As you've been seeing, I've been researching basically only Michelle. And he has a really high stun rate on the first skill, so he's a pretty good support kit for this team. Bernard is there just to make sure I get first turn, nothing else. Aside from getting the first turn, he's useless. I don't even use his dirt skill because I don't want Camel to have the speed buff. So again, if you make a super fast Kona on Will, you don't need a Bernard. You could fill in the spot with like a Hemos or like a Tyrone or some other CC unit or a Daughter. I don't recommend Beretta because the first two stages have a lot of water monsters which would target Beretta. But if you can make it work, then use Beretta. For the third stage, it's actually really dependent on the targeting system of the AI. If you enter the third stage with a low HP Camel, there is a chance that you're facing a colorblind Leo and he will attack Camel instead of your water unit. On the other hand, if you enter with a full HP Camel, there's a chance that the Ragdolls will ignore Camel and kill all of your other monsters before killing Camel. So you just kind of have to keep retrying until the AI targets the right monsters. This is actually my second run doing this. But yeah, you just retry until the targeting system is correct. Another thing to watch out for is if you actually have a Michelle and Miang built, they might end up healing Camel too much since their heal is based off attack, and then the enemy might change targets and stop attacking Camel. Because Camel has low HP, and if they heal based on high attack, you might heal Camel to 100% and they'll lose its aggro, I guess. But my Michelle isn't built, so I don't have to deal with that issue. And I think that about covers the mechanics of the team. Yeah, if I forgot something, it's probably not as important. Maybe. Point is just try out your teams. It's just Camel and Michelle or Miang, and everyone else is basically supporting those two. Yeah.